All right, all right. Hi, everyone. This is Tani Brown. I'm the head of community at Jopwell. Thank you so much for joining us. I want to give a few shout outs. We have some great folks in here. Kevin Zeno, Iris, Ryan, Scarlett, Dan, Michael. Shout out to Morgan from Williams College. Thank you so much, all of our students, for being here. It's going to be a great day. Our booths are going to open in about 25 minutes. We have great reps, Johnson & Johnson, Chewy, Prudential. Just make sure that you are ready to engage. The most important part about these events is that you all are ready to network and to make an impression on our company reps. This is why we do these events. We want to introduce you to the partner companies that we work with. So this is how you can really stand out in a virtual environment. That's just by bringing energy, asking questions, introducing yourself, being open and excited and ready to roll with our partners. So I'm going to start today with a little bit of a primer on how to crush your internship search. We get a lot of questions around virtual networking, how to stand out. I'm going to give you guys a few tips that you can take into the booths that open up in a little bit. And I want to make this interactive. Kevin, I see you over on our stage. Please ask any questions that you might have. I'm going to give you all of my feedback, all of my tips and insights, and I want to make this fun and useful for our community. So really quickly, for those that are new to Jopwell, we've been around. We're about to celebrate 6 years. I've been with the organization during that entire time. We provide Black, Latinx, and Native American students and professionals with access to resources, community, career opportunities. We do this to create a vital network that accelerates a greater workforce for all. So we truly believe that more diverse talent pipelines, more diverse perspectives, backgrounds, they truly make better teams and make better organizations. So we are so excited to introduce you to the partner companies that we work with. If you haven't already, make sure to create your profile on Jopwell. There's a QR code that's on the screen. If you click on that, that's going to immediately take you to our sign up. You can also go to jopwell.com. Creating a profile is so important because it ensures that your information is given to the partner companies that we work with. We essentially provide introductions and referrals at scale for our students and our professionals. So it's really important that you have an updated resume, provide your major, your graduation year, your school. All of our partners are using that information to help target you for opportunities, events, and content. You can also search and filter for opportunities on your end as well. So it's really important that you create a profile with us today. All right, really quick, again, I'm Tani. I'm using this really embarrassing photo from college when I won the Princeton basketball championship because I want to show you that I was once in your seat and I know exactly what it's like to start your career search. So I'm really excited to be talking about tips and tricks with you all today. Okay, really quick, what we're going to cover: building a network, setting goals, creating a digital strategy, and building strong connections. You took the first step by being here with us today, so pat yourself on the back. The next step is not being afraid to reach out and make connections in a virtual environment. We're all home. You guys are learning either from your dorms, at home, from digital journeys here and there. We want to make sure that you are taking advantage of this virtual environment, and you do that by making sure that you are engaging in your surroundings. So let's dive into it. What is networking and why should you networking, right? Networking is one of the primary means for finding a job. 85% of people say that networking helped them to land their current position. That is a huge stat. That is so important for you finding your job. And one of the first ways that you can really get ahead of the curve is by making sure that you are introducing yourself to recruiters at today's event and also to other students around the country. You wouldn't believe how far this network that you build now in college is going to follow you as an adult when you're a working professional. So there is no better place than to build relationships now. So what are some easy ways that you can start to build relationships? Right now, you're in the chat, you're talking about where you go to school, what you're studying, when you're graduating. This is a great way to relate to other individuals. Look for individuals that might have similarities to you. Also look for individuals that might have backgrounds or skill sets that you're interested in learning more about. You might see another English major. You might see another major in mathematics. You might see another computer science major. Take the initiative to reach out to those other students and build relationships in a virtual environment. Also, today, for our partner companies, make sure you're heading to their booths, introducing themselves, and making sure that you're uploading your resume so that you can follow up with them. After the event, Jopwell is going to send your information to all of the company reps that you're going to meet today. And that's a great way for you to be flagged to those individuals. Following the event, you're also free to find reps on social platforms like LinkedIn and beyond to continue the networking process and the relationship building. But a great way to stand out today is to go to the booth and to ask questions. And you still have 20 minutes until the booths open. So go to those booths, do a little research on the organization, and start thinking through your first question. Questions are a great way to stand out, and they're a great way to be remembered talking to these companies. Next, we're going to talk a little bit about setting goals and understanding your why for professional networking. So think through different possibilities and different outcomes that networking could bring, right? Exchange of new ideas, understanding a new industry or role, an avenue for new opportunities, skills, connections, and unique insights. There's so much to be learned in a virtual environment. And specifically, some of the best outreach that I've received from students has come from some of these virtual events. I've had students reach out to me because they wanted my opinion on a new product that they were building. I've had students reach out to me because they wanted my quote for a school project that they were doing, and they wanted an interview and a referral for that project. I've had students reach out because they wanted to learn more about a company that was on my resume and on my publicly available LinkedIn. There are so many reasons why you can reach out to exchange different ideas. And oftentimes, students find that they have nothing to give and nothing to share. So we want you to know that there's always something that you can create. There's always a new topic that you can talk. And that's really, really important when you are building this virtual network of individuals. Next, we're going to go through analyzing your network and making adjustments. This is really, really important. I like to talk about horizontal versus vertical networks. And if it's one thing that you remember and you take away from my conversation today, it's the power of horizontal and vertical networks. So a horizontal network has to do with your loose connections, the individuals that by virtue of where you're located, where you go to school, who your neighbors are, who your friends are, you already have a strong network to. So a big exercise that I encourage everyone to do is to take a piece of paper and to create a vertical graph and a horizontal graph. A horizontal graph or a vertical graph. Your horizontal graph is going to be loose context that you have reached to right now. Your horizontal network is going to be alumni, where you go to school. It's going to be your teachers and professors. It's going to be your fellow students. It's going to be anyone that's in your immediate network of individuals. Those are going to be individuals that you know that you can contact right now. That's going to be called your strong ties. And your strong ties are really important because those are individuals that you can start to network with right now. Those are people that can give you advice on your resume, your LinkedIn, interview tips, current companies that they might work for. This is your immediate network, and it's really important to understand how to flex that network and work within that network. Your second network is going to be your vertical network. Your vertical network are individuals that you don't know yet, but you have the ability to tap into and to reach. So your virtual network starts today. Your virtual network starts by going to these booths, introducing yourself, asking questions, being curious, and building that actual network. When you go to those events, never be afraid to ask, I would love to stay in touch. What's the best way to reach you? You would be surprised how regularly available recruiters are to share their information either on LinkedIn, via Jopwell, or through a calendar link. There are so many different ways that you can build those relationships. So again, remember, vertical network are those strong ties that you have. Alumni, fellow students, teachers and professors, neighbors, friends, and then your vertical network. Your vertical network is the network that you're building every single day. Those are the people that you come in touch with that might not know you, but that you're going to meet along the way. It's really important that you build relationships with these people as you grow in your career, because this network will continue to come back. Sharon, it's great to meet you. Happy that you're over at the stage. Again, I'm starting to get a few questions. I'll be taking questions at the very end. Right now, we are talking about how to kickstart your internship search and how to build your network. So again, horizontal networks, vertical networks. In order to identify someone that you want to network with, what are some of the things to think about? This is a big question that I answer all the time. You want to think through someone you admire. Professionally, there are many role models that I admire. A few of them, just to name: Gayle King, host of CBS's This Morning; John Rogers. John Rogers owns the largest Black-owned investment fund in the country, right? Those are some individuals that I really love and follow their professional career. I also have many alumni that I also follow. Another way that you can identify someone to network with is someone you're in the trenches with. So this is a term that we use that really has to do with familiarity, right? Someone that might be in your class, an alumni that might have a similar major or come in to teach more. These are people that you can really relate to easily. And then lastly, college alumni. I can't overstate how strong these alumni ties are. Again, if I go into chat and I just want to shout out individuals that we have here, we have individuals from schools all over the country: University of Penn, University of Buffalo, Rutgers University, Campbell University in North Carolina, Howard University, William Smith College. You're going to meet individuals and alumni from all over the country. Meeting alumni is a great opportunity to build your network. So definitely use those strong ties from your schools to build relationships with alumni. Next, this is all about crafting a plan. If anyone has heard of the SMART goal plan, this is really, really important, and this is a great way to start building relationships. And I'm going to go back a little bit so that we can talk about that actual process. So in terms of building your actual plan, you want to make sure when you're reaching out to individuals, and I'm just going to go back slightly to talk about your goals. A goal that I like to put in front of all students that I mentor are: how many individuals are you going to reach to this semester? So most of you are about to be on spring break, or you're on spring break now. I want you to challenge yourself to make up to 10 pieces of cold outreach in the upcoming months. That's super important to building your network, right? So in terms of doing this outreach, personalize your invitation. Make sure that there's always something that stands out in the message. Do not just cut and paste the message that you're reaching out with people. Do you have a school in common? Do you have a company that you used to work for in common? Do you have someone that you know in common? Personalize the invitation. Then, if you can, work to get an introduction. This is where Jopwell is so important. Oftentimes, our cold outreach for our students comes from: I met you at a Jopwell event. I heard about you from a Jopwell colleague. Lastly, cold outreach is totally fine too. If you learn anything from this event at Jopwell, it is be fearless in building your network and going after your career goals. It is absolutely okay to come to Jopwell, create a profile, and express interest in companies and brands that you've never heard of. Also, make sure to go on LinkedIn, look up this individual, and try and reach out to them to learn more. That's so important. So again, personalize your invite, get an introduction if possible, and also don't be afraid of cold outreach. Next, we're going to talk about the actual specifics towards writing a good email. We have a few examples here on the screen from my colleague Danielle. We have a few examples both of a longer form of outreach as well as a short one. So on the left-hand side, I'm reaching out because I noticed you are a marketer at Jopwell. This is a position I'm interested in learning more about. As a marketing major at Rutgers, I've taken a digital marketing strategy course, but would love to hear how this translates into a real life example. So again, going back to our rules, be relatable, be specific, and provide an introduction. The example on the right is an example of a very broad introduction that isn't that eye-catching, right? I notice we have a few connections. I have a few questions about a role at Jopwell. No, you want to be really, really specific with your outreach. This is what I'm studying. This is where I go to school. I took a course in this specific topic, and I would love to learn how this translates to real-world examples. That's really, really important, which is to make your real examples as relatable as you can. Next, we're going to talk about keeping those connections as you build. So, do your research on an individual's background. Alma mater, professors, studies, geography. Craft a list of questions that allow you to get to know the person and not just the opportunity. I can't overstate this enough. I get outreach to by hundreds of individuals every single day. The ones that I respond to are the ones that have taken the time to craft specific outreach. Be informed and do your research. That's going to be my most important piece of feedback throughout this entire session. Lastly, in your outreach, talk about your passions and your goals. What are you interested in learning more about, and how can this person help you? This is so important when we have 8 minutes until the doors open for our booths. This is so important to help talk about your passions and your goals with recruiters. I just listened to an amazing podcast regarding how AI and machine learning is entering the graphic novel space. This has inspired me to learn more about careers that intersect with writing and technology. Let people know what you're passionate about. I can't overstate this enough. Differentiate yourself and how you reach out to individuals. This is going to be a great way that you can make yourself stand out throughout the entire interview and application process. So make sure that your passions and your goals are known. Also, make sure that you're asking them what they're passionate about when you reach out to as well. So this is really helpful when you're starting to build those connections, you're starting to build rapport. Again, talk about specifically what you're interested in and ask the person if those interests overlap with your own. A lot of this might sound really introductory, but you would be so surprised at how much students are overlooking a lot of this information. We're going to take 2 or 3 questions in a couple minutes as we get ready for the doors to open. Again, jumpstarting your internship process. Do your research. Be fearless in your network. Build vertical and horizontal contacts in your network. Those are strong ties and loose ties within your network. And be fearless in reaching out to individuals. The most important part when you're doing your outreach, be specific and have something to say. Don't just say, I would love to join your network. Let me know, what are you studying? What are you interested in? What are your career aspirations? It all makes so much difference when you go to actually stand out. Lastly, the big question that we always get from students is, I feel like I don't have anything to offer. That is so not true. Your generation, what you're studying, you have so much to offer. Be willing to be helpful when you're reaching out and building a connection with someone. These are a few examples of what you can offer. Contacts. I have a friend that's a web designer. Resources, right? There are free workshops and information that I don't know about that I would love to learn about as well. Ideas and insights. This is a great one, especially for college students. You all are masters at technology that individuals who might be working professionals have never heard of. We have a college intern right now who's building out Jopwell's TikTok strategy because no one on our staff has a TikTok. So that was an example of someone who brought an amazing skill set to the table. And lastly, talent. I would love to offer my services to edit something, to review something, to give feedback. These are all really simple ways that you can make yourself useful and reach out to someone when you're networking with them. Again, the big question, I'm a college student, I feel like I have nothing to offer. That isn't true. These are all things that are free that you can offer that take no additional energy to help you build your network. So again, it's all about building your networks. It's all about building strong ties with everyone that you're working with. Okay, that's the most important part if I can impart this knowledge on you. Next, we're going to talk about how to maintain those relationships. So you might have sent one message, but you're waiting to hear back. You haven't heard back in a long time. Always keep them fresh and up to date. A great way to do this are providing updates both on LinkedIn and via email, being timely with your communication. Something that I do with my mentors are once a quarter, which is every 3 months, I just send an update about my life. I send an update about my wins at work, the things that I'm struggling with, the things that I would love additional mentorship or support with, but I'm consistent. So the mentors that I have know that they can expect an email. They also know that I'm available to help them. Anything should arise at that time. So again, keep yourself top of mind with these individuals. Say thank you, share content, execute on any next steps that you said that you would. And I can't overestimate how great it is to just share life updates with those that want to help you. Let them know where you are. Let them know how your last semester was. Let them know what you're studying next semester. There's so much that you have to share with a potential mentor and a potential stakeholder that really the sky is the limit for how you can present on this. Okay, booths open in around 3 minutes. I'm going to take a few questions just before we end and move people into our booths. So again, booths open in 3 minutes. Chewy, Johnson & Johnson, Prudential, 3 really exciting companies. We want you to go into those booths, ask questions, engage with company reps. This is the way that you make yourself memorable and unforgettable. Following the event, Jopwell will be sending out information that you provide to all of the company representatives. So I'm going to take one of our first questions that I got sent from my inbox. And this is a great question that comes in. A big question that individuals have all the time is, I want to make sure that when I network, I'm not making myself sound too repetitive. How can I differentiate myself in a virtual environment? This is a great question, especially right now. I'm coming to you from my kitchen and my living room. But this is a great opportunity to network and to provide additional opportunities to meet people from all over the world. So this is how you can really stand out. Number one is consistency and detail. You want to make sure that when you're networking, you're following up with the individuals that you're building relationships with. It's okay if they don't get back to you the first time. Be consistent and be persistent. Follow up with them and ask additional questions. The second is be specific with your asks. I cannot overestimate that enough. Be specific with what it is that you're looking to get out of a relationship and also what you offer, right? We call this a give and take. What do you offer to the individual and what is it that you're looking to receive? When I was a junior in college, I really wanted to work in sports marketing. So I tried to build a network of sports marketers. What I offered was the ability to provide my perspective and insight and also to volunteer at local tournaments. What I was looking for was a mentor who could teach me more about marketing in those specific fields. There's always something that you have to offer, and there's always something to be gained as well. I want to say a big hello to everyone that's just tuning in. My name is Tawny Brown. I'm the head of community at Jopwell. This was all about how to network in a virtual environment and jump-starting your actual career search. We're going to get started in a few minutes with the booths. So definitely head over to your expo booths. Expo, lower left side. This is where our company reps are going to be there meeting with our students. I'll see you there and ping me with any additional questions. Okay, excited to get started and kick off this afternoon. Again, Jopwell, career advancement platform for Black, Latinx, Native American students, and we'll see everyone real soon. Bye.